What's going on, everyone? So here we have Game and Tech here doing a early review on Black Myth Wukong PS5 Pro patch. This is cool that he got this out ahead of time so people can know if it's good or not and does PSSR work, and that they really take their time and try to figure out some things. I beat this game on PC, by the way. Played pretty much on high, some epic settings or cinematic or whatever. Ran really good. Enjoyed it. I highly recommend this game if you guys haven't played it. And if you have a Pro and you've been waiting to get it, I highly recommend doing that now. This patch seems to be working very good. There's also a 40 FPS mode. It is a very demanding game, obviously, because you have to realize something here. This game is an Unreal Engine 5 game, and Unreal Engine 5 games are CPU demanding. So yeah, there's definitely gonna have to be some sacrifices here, but obviously there should definitely be a noticeable improvement from the base game when the game first launched compared to it being now. Obviously, just in general, it's going to be optimized better. So we're going to take a look and dive in here and see how this goes. And I'm doing this for you guys, of course, too. Like I said, I'm going to be doing coverage on this, and there's some good stuff that's worth doing. I will do it. Let's get into this. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what y'all think.
Fans, and welcome back to my channel. The best news today is not that we have now a PlayStation 5 Pro patch for Wukong. No, the best news is that we have now on both consoles a fixed 30 FPS, and also when you own a 120 Hz screen, we have now a fixed 40 FPS mode. And by the way, do me a very big favor, please like, share and subscribe. Thank you very much. And yes, this was absolutely necessary because if you remember, back then, before the patch, we had an unlocked 30 FPS mode, which was actually terrible in my opinion, because having a frame rate between 30 and 40 FPS all the time is actually worse than have a fixed 30 FPS mode. And now with the 120 Hz option, what we have, you can now enjoy the balanced mode in 40 FPS. By the way, if you don't have a 120 Hz screen, the balanced mode is still uncapped or unlocked, which is, in my opinion, a bad decision. I would actually like to see that the balanced mode with a slightly increased resolution or better graphic details is also locked to 30 FPS. But unfortunately, that's not the case. The great news is that even you decide to play this game in the quality 30 FPS mode, 120 Hz are still enabled. This is absolutely fantastic because 120 Hz is better than 60 Hz because we have a lower input lag and a little bit of a better response time. But let's start from the very beginning.
So you see, trying to get 60 on this game, like I said, it's very demanding and you need a better CPU. I've been telling people that Unreal Engine 5 games are CPU demanding. So you can type it in right here. CPU demand, it increased big time. Of course, it's GPU intensive. That's always been the case in gaming, but now the balance is shifting more. You see, it's like that for a lot of next-gen games in general, even Indiana Jones. Oh my God, that game was CPU heavy. And that's not Unreal Engine 5. I'm saying just for next-generation games in general, just because it's just the way that it works.
Take a closer look on the base PlayStation 5 versus the PlayStation 5 Pro. And what I found is, and it's probably a little bit harder on YouTube to spot, but the PlayStation 5 Pro version has in all three graphic modes a slightly higher resolution. And also what I found is that in the quality 30 FPS mode and the balanced 40 FPS mode with 120 Hz enabled, the motion quality on the PlayStation 5 Pro is a little bit better than on the base PlayStation 5. And the reason for that is that now in the quality mode and the balanced mode on the PlayStation 5 Pro, we are using PSSR. Please keep in mind that there is no PSSR in use in the 60 FPS performance mode, because this mode is still using actually frame generation to hit 60 FPS. And this mode actually is, in my opinion, after I played the 40 FPS, 120 Hz option is really not good anymore in regards of input lag response time. So keep that in mind. The 60 FPS performance mode is actually using 30 FPS as a background performance. And then with frame generation, you get 60 fake FPS.
Yep, that's how it works.
But what about PSSR issues? Are there any issues on the PlayStation 5 Pro? And yes, unfortunately, there are, but very, very minor. And we have to look very closely, actually. So we have, as far as I can tell, no issues with flickering or shimmering on plants or textures, as we have seen in Avatar or Jedi.
Oh, I could
But
see
we
it.
have this film grain, this film noise or noise in the picture. As soon you play the 30 FPS or the new balanced mode on the PlayStation 5 Pro, you have additional noise on the picture, not in the.
So are you going to blame the developers for that? That's what I was trying to tell you. And they did like the best job they possibly could. It's always going to pop up until they fully fix that, because that's not something that you can turn off either. It's just what's included in their AI upscaler.
Performance mode, because the performance mode is
There it is
not
again.
using PSSR.
Do we see it? It's not as bad, but it's still there. You could see it. And honestly, it doesn't even blow away the PlayStation 5 base version. You can see the shimmering right there.
And so far I have to say I like the new 40 FPS fixed mode with 120 Hz enabled the best, because it just combines a nice frame rate, or better frame rate than 30 FPS, and also a better image quality compared to the 60 FPS mode, again, which has a very bad input lag or response time. So for me, on my LG G4, 40 FPS, 120 Hz is the way to go. But what about performance? So let's check this out very quickly. And I told you already, we have now a fixed 30 FPS mode on both consoles. And so far as I was able to test the game, it is really a perfect fixed 30 FPS experience. And in regards of the new 40 FPS fixed mode, I can just tell you, where I tested the game, it runs absolutely flawless on the base and also on the PlayStation 5 Pro. But keep in mind, in recent tests or in my other tests, the base PlayStation 5 in the old balanced mode, and remember the frame rate target back then was 45 FPS, but the base PlayStation 5 was not able to keep 45 FPS all the time. So there might be at some point some stuttering on the base PlayStation 5 in the new 40 FPS mode, because also remember, you can't use VRR, because the VRR range is 48 to 120 Hertz. And in this case, fixed 40 FPS plus VRR will not work. And last but not least, we have the 60 FPS mode. But remember, this is fake 60 FPS in my opinion, because we're actually using 30 FPS with frame generation enabled, and this gives you 60 FPS, and you can unfortunately feel this when you play the game. The input lag, the response time is a lot higher compared to the 30 FPS or fixed 40 FPS mode, but you have 60 fake FPS. If you like this,
I like how he's actually telling you that so you can be aware. See, because if you just wait, you would really just think that that's genuine. But that's not how it works. It's an upscaling 60 frames. It seems like that, but it's still 30. But it's just generating it to seem that way, which is still not bad, but it's not going to be the same as actual 60 frames. You can tell the difference.
Just go for it. Okay, my friends, so that's it for this video. Let me know in the comment section, how do you like the new patch or upgrade for the base PlayStation 5 and also, of course, for the PlayStation 5 Pro. The good news is, again, it's not that we have now a PlayStation 5 Pro patch. We have now, in my opinion, that's the good news, we have now a 40 FPS mode and a fixed 30 FPS mode if you don't have a 120 Hz screen, because believe me, it is much better to have fixed 30 FPS than unlocked 30 FPS. That's my experience, that's my opinion. So let me know again.
Yeah, he's talking about latency input lag. I can understand that.
And let me know in the comment section, how do you like this upgrade? And yeah, in my opinion, this game is absolutely fantastic. It's getting better and better with with every patch. It's actually getting better. I'm waiting actually that we have maybe an unlocked 40 FPS mode for the PlayStation 5 Pro, this would actually be a very, very good thing to do, but I don't think this will happen. Anyway, let me know in the comment section, how do you like this game? How do you like this video? Again, keep in mind, please like, share, and subscribe. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Good video, bro. So there y'all have it. Now we see that, once again, it's every single damn game here where, like, that PSSR issue, as I've been telling people in multiple videos, now y'all see I'm not making up nothing. Obviously not, because the proof is right in front of you, unless you just want to be ignorant. That shimmering aspect effect that Activision had found out an issue about, so the Digital Foundry and a lot of other people that are starting to realize that too, is something with the anti-aliasing, the AA effect of the AI upscaler. Whereas other people's systems and engines, they get rid of the noise, but when it clashes with PSSR, because it's not working fully together, it creates that noise. And then they're looking at it like, some developers like, you know what, this is annoying because they didn't design the system, and it's also something that's tweaked, like FSR. It's a tweaked FSR because it's still AMD technology. They can't make up anything new. They don't have their own graphics card lines. So they're just like, yeah, turn that off and put in TSR, and you're not going to notice. Still going to look really good, and none of that's there, and you get an upgrade like you got with the GPU in there on the PS5 Pro. And that's pretty much it. So it's not an argument, it's understanding that the issue is PSSR, once again. So they're just going to have to update it, tweak it, and find out what the problem is. But there y'all have it. Enjoy that patch. This game is awesome. And we all know the Game of the Year awards was rigged. Pretty obvious. But later, y'all. Peace out. Like, comment, and subscribe.